Se perfila como una importante activista enfocada en la defensa del desarrollo de la primera infancia. Es una de las conferencistas más jóvenes en participar en TED Talks. Nos explica, con ejemplos en tiempo real, lo crucial de la atención y el cariño en el desarrollo neuronal y social de los niños y las niñas. Demos la bienvenida a Molly Wright.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own.
We've realised that unless you start at the beginning, everything else we do is Band-Aid.
This is the most important issue. You get it right for the first 5 years, it sets up a child for the whole of their life course.
What if I was to tell you that a game of peekaboo could change the world?
Wait till you guys see this. 7-year-old Molly Wright.
Molly Wright, Gold Coast girl who today made millions around the world sit up and listen.
I think actually the youngest TED Talk speaker ever. This was a big, bold, crazy idea.
So what's something you can do? Scientists call it serve and return. That's just a grown-up way of saying connect, talk, and play with us. And here's the really big news.
Thrive by 5, and it's got me all emotional. You have to watch it. Molly Wright.
Let's talk more about our brains. It can create up to 1 million neural connections every second. Imagine the difference we could make if everyone everywhere did this.
State government says it's committed to working with Minderoo to roll out the videos at key messages across our health system.
The video is already being played in maternity wards as far away as Afghanistan.
Helping parents understand that everything that happens in those first few years is incredibly important.
Naming games like peekaboo actually build memory and trust.
I was looking for the auto cue and she didn't have one.
She doesn't even fidget.
I loved it. I just loved it. I can't say it enough.
It's so much more than just a game. It's our future. Take it from me, the 7-year-old up here, talking about brain science. See? Peekaboo really can change the world.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say you've lost the mind. I don't care, so call me crazy.
Hi everyone. Yeah, the microphone works. That's a bonus. Okay. I can't believe I'm really here. I've been waiting for this for ages. So nervous. The picture on the front of my book leaps out as the blurb on the back draws me in. I feel the weight of my story in my hands, and I turn the page. The door is open now. I am transported to another world, and my imagination awakens. Hi, hola, Mexico. My name is Molly Bell Wright, and once upon a time, in a TED Talk in the Sydney Opera House, I told you how a game of peekaboo can change the world. Today, I'm here to tell you how reading and storytelling gave me the confidence and ability to share that message. I would love to add my voice to the chorus of people shouting from the rooftops the many reasons why every child should have access to stories. There are chapters in my life that have already been written. Not many, obviously. I'm only 9. Beginning with Daddy and me time, starting from before I was even born. Did you know that babies begin to learn from long before they're even born? In fact, at 29 weeks, babies begin to hear sounds outside of the body. This encouraged my dad, over there if you can see him, to read to me from very early on. I'm told he read Harry Potter. As I got a little older, I hung on every soothing word. His voice is so familiar now, the bond so deep. I listened to him as he read about the creatures at the bottom of the ocean, the animals that no longer roam the planet, and the mythical creatures I was so sure existed. The Gruffalo, the Jabberwock, BFG. Dad read, I listened. I heard the rhythm of his words, the sing-song in his voice. When I was able to focus a little more, my parents would guide my eyes across illustration after illustration, asking questions, inviting me to talk, and encouraging me to touch and turn the pages. Sometimes, I could even smell the salty air from aboard the pirate ship and hear the toucan call from high above the rainforest. We should not simply walk along words, should we? As the late educator Paulo Freire once said, we should grasp the souls of them, or at least try to. I remember watching with pure joy as my mum picked up a precious book and sat down beside me. I listened as she took me on a journey. It was Mummy and me entering new worlds and meeting new characters. This was our time. We connected because of the excitement in her voice, the way she looked at me and the book, and the laughs we shared. And when there were no books to hand on car journeys or walking to school, it was so exciting because we got to make up our very own stories. Our stories were always about the things that we saw around us. A broken fence, an animal that would scuttle by, sometimes even the weather. It's only recently that I learned fairies don't actually travel by raindrop. My Nana is also an excellent storyteller, and she says, sometimes we don't need books to tell stories. Her stories helped me make sense of my day, understand relationships and friendships and social situations, as well as making my imagination explode, of course. The next chapter saw me struggle and grapple with words that my mum told me to break down and slowly sound.
What does that one say? You said I, and then you said ahma. Put it together.
I am.
Yeah.
Can you say t?
Yep.
Top. I am the top cat. I am the top cat.
I think I was 2 or 3 there. I had very much of a different accent, as you would have picked up. It was my turn to read, or at least try to. I read, Mum listened. She truly listened. And then she read, and I listened. No hurrying, though. Always at my pace. Listening and turn-taking are so important for speech and language development. Mum invited me to copy the words she said and the actions she made. I know now that copycat games build imagination and empathy. So, very soon it became my turn to take my parents and teachers on these magical reading journeys. They had to be really patient as I slowly formed each word, my little fingers fumbling to turn the page. My parents and teachers were my audience, encouraging me to keep going, supporting, guiding, letting me find my own way, helping me to find my voice. Now, I am the teacher. It's my turn to sail the boat and fly the rocket ship as I cozy up with my little brother Freddie and read to him. I read to Freddie every night, delighting him with stories of dragons, dogs that talk, and illumination devices. I read to Freddie when he was a baby. I could see him searching my face as I spoke, which really encouraged me to exaggerate my facial and vocal expressions. We're really close. I mean, we definitely have our moments, but we value our reading time together like you wouldn't believe. It's our us time. The love of words and reading grows inside me, forming a part of me, crafting the story of me. Now I have choices. Like Matilda and Princess Belle, I sigh contentedly whenever I see shelves of books. The library is my paradise, my safe place, and my launch pad all in one. I search and wonder which title will grab my attention, draw me in. Reading has become my choice now, and it's so exciting. I get to turn my own pages in my own time, and the words just jump off the page. A slow, steady, magical story sounding in my head. And I'm there, in that world. Blyton to Williams, Donaldson to Dahl. When I'm reading, I feel like these authors and playwrights reach out to me. I grab their hands and enter the worlds they've created. And whilst navigating those worlds, I sneakily pick up how to structure sentences, how to use effective vocabulary, how to spell, how to punctuate. With every new chapter, every new story, every turn of the page helps me to unlock new insights and ideas, new possibilities. The words help me to make sense of the world around me. Stories, that have touched my heart, hurt my head, challenged my thinking, and ignited passion. Stories that have helped me to empathize with different situations, people, and places that are unfamiliar. Stories that have allowed me to better understand my own culture and that of others. Words build knowledge. Knowledge is power.
I read because nothing is more empowering than an imagination.
It feels like whenever I open a book, I can go into another world.
Permite desarrollar la reflexión para elegir mi manera de pensar y de interpretar la vida. La única libertad del ser humano es elegir lo que pensamos, porque ello influye en nuestro sentir.
Sorry, that was glitching a bit, as you can see, so I'll probably just click it again.
I read because nothing is more empowering than an imagination.
It feels like whenever I open a book, I can go into another world.
Permite desarrollar la reflexión para elegir mi manera de pensar y de interpretar la vida. La única libertad del ser humano es elegir lo que pensamos, porque ello influye en nuestro sentir, nuestra emoción y también en la manera de actuar.
There's facts in books and I like teaching them to my family. Es que aprendo mucho así y me gusta leer para mi cerebro.
I zone out and I can imagine everything that's happening in the book is happening right in front of my face.
It helps me to feel calm and at peace and centered.
Porque así imagino leer y todos los colores y pintar unicornios.
I read because it helps to calm my mind at the end of a long and difficult day. I read because I have to, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to do the job that I do.
Reading allows me to experience the ideas and the perspectives of people who I would otherwise never have the chance to meet.
I'm Jess Darrow, this is Giles Darrow, and we read because we like to learn about other people's stories and put ourselves in their shoes. Right, Jess? We're always listening to audiobooks together, which is a valid form of reading.
Me gusta leer porque leer es ver a través de ojos ajenos, es escudriñar en la mente de otros. Porque leer nos muestra lo que otros han visto, estudiado e imaginado, pero también lo que otros han sentido. Una buena lectura es vitamina para mejorar nuestra capacidad de observar, de estudiar, de analizar, de innovar, pero también nos ayuda a temperar y encauzar nuestros sentimientos. Leer es también la mejor manera de hablar con nosotros mismos, de dialogar, disentir, debatir, confrontar y hasta hacer las paces con nuestra propia conciencia.
They're giving you ideas which you can put inside your story writing. And I like reading books because it takes me to wonderful adventures.
I read because it makes my life more beautiful.
It helps me switch off away from my everyday football routine, and it's completely different to being out on the football pitch.
Permite desarrollar la reflexión para elegir mi manera de pensar y de interpretar la vida. La única libertad del ser humano es elegir lo que pensamos, porque ello influye en nuestro sentir, nuestra emoción y también en la manera de actuar.
There's facts in books and I like teaching
Sorry
them to my
guys, there's a
family.
lot of technical things going on here. Just wait until we can sort it out.
It helps me to feel calm and at peace and centered.
Sorry, I don't know what's happening right now. Yes, now it's better. Sorry, we ran a little bit over time there. I read because I can. I was read to, taught how to, encouraged to do, and have the privilege of being able to. So, what about those who can't? According to UNICEF, only a third of 10-year-olds globally are estimated to be able to read and understand a simple written story. That makes me feel so sad. That, and knowing that in 2020, 770 million people around the world lacked even the most basic literacy skills. It's happening on our doorstep, and I would really like to help change that. Children who can't indulge in the beauty of words will never find themselves having dinner with Harry Potter in the Great Hall at Hogwarts, or exploring Treasure Island with the famous five. They may never see the inside of a giant peach. Poor vocabulary and communication form barriers and limit potential. They prevent self-expression. They become a hidden enemy that closes doors and blocks you from getting in. Books start conversations. They awaken the senses and become imprinted and never forgotten. Mallory Towers, Warhorse, Matilda, Great Expectations. When did these children get a glimpse of other worlds, other possibilities? When does the foundation of their knowledge develop, build, and become their strength and their power, giving them the confidence to stand up and speak out? How can we help open the doors for them? What if I was to tell you that stories can change the world in spoken or written form? How storytelling is one of the best ways to engage a child's mind, develop creativity, and connect them to place, culture, and identity over generations. The power of stories, adding color to that which is gray and bringing light to times of darkness. And when the world is a lonely place, there's no friend as loyal as a book. So, let's go back and remind ourselves how we can inspire every child to fall in love with stories too. Read early and often. Time to bond and experience the wonder of words and illustrations, right from birth. The roots of language are growing inside babies' minds from before they can even talk. Awaken the senses. Let's hear those words, see those pictures, and feel the paper between our fingers. Connect. Storytelling is a hook, a way in, and an opportunity to share something special. Talk about books, characters, the meaning of words. Go on the journey together. Take turns. In the TED Talk, I called it Serve and Return. You read, then they listen, then they read and you listen. Be the role model. When your own love of reading is so apparent that those around you take inspiration, it becomes contagious. This is not a new theory. There are people all over the world championing reading, but the more voices we add to the choir, the louder the message becomes. With every new turn of the page, I am liberated, inspired, I am stronger. Knowledge is power, words are fuel, and books are gifts which engage, transport, and unlock. As George R.R. Martin once said, a reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. I have lived and breathed those characters, and I will continue to do so. Characters that made their mistakes for me. I learned from them all. I'm still learning. And so I stand on this stage in front of you today with Hermione's strength, Matilda's courage, and Pip's determination to succeed. Sorry about that. There was something supposed to be on. I opened a book and in I strode. Now nobody can find me. I've left my chair, my house and my road, my town and my world behind me. I'm wearing the cloak. I've slipped on the ring. I've swallowed the magic potion. I fought with a dragon, dined with a king, and dived in a bottomless ocean. I opened a book and made some friends. I shared their tears and laughter and followed their road with its bumps and bends to a happily ever after. I finished the book and out I came. Now the cloak can't hide me. My house and my chair are just the same, but I have a book inside me. Thank you, Julia Donaldson, for letting me share that poem. Yo leo porque puedo. Yo leo porque puedo. Yo puedo porque leo. I read because I can. I can because I read. Thank you.